pride or stubbornness? Do we all hypnotize our own only to keep the dream of a perfect country alive? Is corruption really the major problem, or just another excuse for a sleeping country? This and much more we will talk about today. Warning! This channel will not be a further shallow fun channel. Here we will build up a community realizing that changes in our country are urgently necessary. Therefore, we cannot consider every hard word when we want to reveal the truth. If you cannot tolerate openly speaking, or you don't care about the country's future, then please use the exit now. We wish you only the best. All geniuses out there willing to improve our overall situation are welcome to join our community now. Here, you will learn to become a winner and a trendsetter in Cebu. Hi to everyone, my name is Alexander. And first of all, I want to thank you all for your great reactions to our last video. Hey, Alex, especially the prominent people already took notice from your claims from the last video.
Kaya kung ayaw ninyong minto at patuloy pa rin ang karahasan, ito na ang huli ninyong Merry Christmas.
I will kill you.
Just kidding. Hey Alex, I promised to make my homeworks, and here we are. Last time you claimed that there is no progress and development in the Philippines. But what about the service sector? We already overrun India with our service and call centers, and our OFWs are highly appreciated all around the world.
In fact, the Philippines has been one of the biggest global winners when it comes to outsourcing, particularly business process outsourcing. In 2003, there were less than 10 call centers, staging incredible growth rates per year to become the world's largest by the early 2010s. However, outsourcing goes far beyond just call centers. All types of back office jobs have found their way to Manila, as the financials of doing so just make sense. For example, if you're a company, why pay someone $30 an hour on a full-time contract to do accounting or IT support when the internet allows you to outsource this same job for a fraction of the price? A staggering 1 in 10 of the population work abroad, accounting for 9% of the economy, making the Philippines the 4th largest remittancy market in the world, after China, India and Mexico. A sector so important that each December is celebrated as the national month for overseas workers. But why do so many of the nation's population work abroad? An immediate answer to this would be higher wages, but that's true of many countries. A fundamental reason is because of the country's education system. Institutions and vocational schools act as a funnel for overseas work, giving their students the likely skills to get jobs abroad, whether that be nursing schools, merchant marine academies, or hospitality centers.
This is your defense? Let me ask some question. When all in the country who are higher educated and higher skilled will leave the country to work abroad, please tell me, what about the education level of the ones left here in the country? Wouldn't it be better to improve and accomplish the conditions here in the Philippines so that the highly educated and highly skilled employees will stay at home? And secondly, investing into a sector what is already sentenced to death due to artificial intelligence is indeed not a very big success. Economists already fear that even the investment into that service centers, into the infrastructure, will not return until this sector of business will collapse.
it's only fair to say that artificial intelligence is a huge threat to large parts of the outsourcing sector, such as those very call center jobs, with companies across the world increasingly trending towards adopting chatbots or Amazon Alexa-style Cybertrons, threatening to replace vast segments of this workforce.
But here, we must not blame our people. We have to blame unfair companies abroad abusing our highly skilled workers and employees. And now, dear Alexander, let's have a look to the opinion and point of view about the manners of the netizens in the country done by their own countrymen. If I really intend to believe this, it is also not the responsibility of our people. Look what I found. Our blessed Filipinos already revealed the true core of the problem. Aha! Corruption, bad education, incompetent government, and therefore all of them fall to their knees when some of these politicians visit their place and they roll the red carpet to the ground. And finally, who are the ones electing these politicians? In fact, there is always much space above to improve the performance of governments worldwide. And as long with the newly elected politician, also the entire environment is changing, so that he's only surrounded from yes-sayers and proponents, never discussing or arguing, so that all decisions are already approved in advance. Barely we will not invent really true competency. That I agree. But aren't people doing the same? Opinions change with the leaders of the country. They praise and bless them as long as they are in a position, and they also praise the follower even if he has a totally opposite and contrary opinion. But they are not corrupt. They aren't? How about the tricycle driver taking 3 times more from a foreigner than from a local? Or what about the 2 prices system in the market? When I buy there, I always pay minimum double. What about the ones doing favors for their friends and family to the disadvantage of others? How would you call that? Christianity? Okay, you are now more Christian than the Pope. Really, these are small amounts only, and we are not talking about millions. Corruption starts from a special amount only, and all below of that is called tradition or culture. Now I got it. But this is indeed not the point. There is no country to find worldwide without a kind of corruption. And the Philippines are in fact not the worst of all to find. There are much more countries with a much higher corruption problem. Yes, this is true. But other countries don't use that as a permanent excuse for personal failure. And therefore, they are much more successful in the global game. So you once again want to tell me it is again the fault of our people. People always elect the government they deserve. Okay, there are some facts we cannot deny. You have to know the Filipinos are proud citizens. They overcame plenty of calamities and therefore they are rightly proud. Proud to stand up again and again after punches and pushes is rightly a reason to be proud. I agree totally with that. But sometimes the people misunderstood pride with stubbornness. They defend things they even realized as wrong and call it pride. And worst of all, they wait for a new savior, a new messiah in the shape of a president to heal the country. That no president in the world, even with the deepest love to his country and the poorest intentions, can change anything as long he or she is not supported from the people, and these people also have to understand that they also have to change to support the plan of a good president. This is the first time I have to agree. But I also understand that they lose faith and are all frustrated. They have to realize the power they have. They are the voters, and they must not pray to elected people like up to saints. This has to start already in the smallest part of society. Here changes are made, and not at the president's position. The best president cannot achieve anything without the support of all members in the system. And here we talk already about the barangays. Because there, people can change a lot with their votings. But we are not here today to talk about politics. I agree. Okay, let's talk about what people can do. First of all, get more open-minded to opinions and advices from other foreign countries or from foreigners living in the country and naturally having more experience. Europe, USA and China are not doing well in economy for nothing. Underestimated countries like Vietnam or Cambodia already proved that the rising of an economy can be much faster than ever expected with the right and proper attitude and the willingness to change. So, what do you suggest? It is really hard to change things which are usual over centuries. We are not Europeans or Americans. Yeah, but why are you anytime pretending to be? Find your own identity. Copying other countries is not authentic and nobody will trust in that performance. Stop to pretend to be the little USA. We don't have the conditions to become a second USA. And finally, this is good. Yeah, but the USA had the strongest influence after the Spaniards. This is hard to change. And here we come to the point of today. Since I know the Philippines, I hear anytime explanations and excuses. Nobody gets tired to explain why this is like it is and why anytime all others are guilty for the circumstances. Investing this effort in finding excuses into creating solutions would really be very helpful. Learn that somebody who drinks 2 cases of beer every day and is risking that his liver will collapse must not blame San Miguel. If he wants to stop the destruction of the liver, he has to stop drinking. And not San Miguel has to stop selling beer. And this is the usual way of solutions in the Philippines, and this must be changed immediately. This is clear and reasonable for me. What do you think outside there? Discuss with us and tell us what problems you want to solve next time. Tell us what topic we should treat in our next video. Type it in your comments. You're anytime free also to argue with us. Nobody must follow us without reconsidering, as long it is in an appropriate way. Because we also don't like to harm, bother, or insult anybody. And once again, for all people in Cebu, Join our analog circle of discussions every Friday here in Alcoy in the south of Cebu. And don't forget to subscribe. Please note any time. We do these videos for a better country for all of us and not to blame or insult anybody or somebody. If somebody feel harmed, we apologize. Really, we apologize. But we cannot change to a better country if you outside there are also not willing to change. Thanks for subscribing and sharing our videos. See you next week.
Don't pay the average if you can